I'm trying to show y'all all these people outside.
On the night of July 4, 2024, Fort Worth, Texas was alive with celebration. The skies burst with color. Music echoed down Castleman Street. It was supposed to be a night of joy. But just before midnight, everything changed. A local makeup artist was live on Facebook, laughing, dancing, filming the crowd. But what her camera captured next wasn't fireworks. It was something darker. Within seconds, her live stream cut to black. Latasha Tasha Hymond, a 39-year-old business owner, was gone. And the most haunting part? Hundreds of people were there. But no one said a word. Before we take you into the heart of what happened that night, the chaos, the confusion, and the chilling truth that followed, hit that subscribe button. This is Wednesday Crime Gist, and this story is one you won't forget. Castleman and Comanche Streets sit in a quiet, tight-knit neighborhood on Fort Worth's east side, the kind of place where community gatherings feel like family reunions. On July 4, 2024, the area came alive. Families lined the sidewalks with folding chairs. Children played with glow sticks. Music flowed from nearby speakers, and fireworks painted the sky in bursts of red, white, and blue. The night was full of joy and energy, everything you'd expect from a summer celebration. An estimated 200 to 300 people filled the street. Neighbors, friends, even visitors. And right in the center of it all was Latasha Hymond, known lovingly as Tasha. She wasn't a public figure, but in Fort Worth, she was someone people knew and admired. Tasha was the proud owner of Slay by Shay, a makeup studio she built from scratch. Her gift wasn't just in beauty, it was in making people feel seen. Her clients often said she made them feel amazing before she ever touched a brush. At 39, Tasha had created something special both online and off. People were drawn to her warmth, her laughter, and her spirit. That evening she was joined by her fiancé, Tommy Howard. Their story was one of second chances. Tommy had once lost someone he loved deeply, and for a time he felt lost. But meeting Tasha changed that. "She brought me back," he said. "She was my peace." They were close, playful, connected. She called him Stink, and he called her my angel. That night was meant to be about joy. As the celebration continued, Tasha went live on her phone, filming the fun, greeting familiar faces, smiling with neighbors, and chatting with kids. In the video you can hear her say, "My man got me locked in, y'all. You can't compare where you can't compete." It was genuine, light-hearted, full of love. At one point, her camera caught the growing crowd around an intersection. A few vehicles had begun revving and circling near the center of the street. Cheers echoed from the crowd, but some nearby residents were clearly growing uncomfortable. A few had already contacted authorities. Across the way, some fireworks veered off course, adding to the tension. The air grew hazy. The music kept going, louder now, maybe to keep the energy up, maybe to cover rising concern. Tasha kept filming, smiling, unaware that the mood was shifting. A police cruiser arrived and parked nearby, its lights flashing gently across the pavement. Inside, officers observed the growing crowd and activity from a distance. In Tasha's live stream, a loud burst lights up the screen, of firework too close for comfort. She reacts, startled, but keeps smiling. A few seconds later, the camera wobbles. There's a quick, sharp noise in the background. It doesn't echo like celebration. The mood shifts fast. Shouting erupts. People scatter. Footsteps slap against the pavement. Doors slam. Voices rise in fear. Her phone drops. The screen tilts sideways. The ground fills the frame. Then, nothing. The live stream ends. That would be the final moment Tasha shared with the world. According to WFAA News, investigators later reported finding numerous items at the scene, evidence that told a much larger story. The variety of material collected pointed to more than one person being involved. In the middle of it all, Tasha Hymond was found near where she had been filming, her phone still beside her. Not far from her was Marcus Martin Jr., a 26-year-old visitor from San Diego. He had collapsed during the incident. At first, people thought it might have been a medical emergency brought on by stress or panic. But further investigation revealed he had also been seriously hurt. 2 people lost their lives that night. Several others were injured and later treated. But the pain of losing Tasha left a deeper wound, especially for her fiancé Tommy Howard. When he tried to reach her, officers held him back. His hands trembled. His voice broke. He kept repeating one thing. "She was just here, right next to me." And then, barely loud enough to catch, he added, "She saved me." Tommy believed that in her final moment, Tasha moved not out of fear, but out of instinct to protect him. The woman who once helped him heal from the past had stood between him and the unimaginable. Officers worked quickly to secure the area. The streets were filled with confusion and emotion. People cried. Some spoke. Most just watched. What had started as a celebration was now a mystery, one that would take days to piece together, and a lifetime for her loved ones to accept. The next morning, Fort Worth was quiet. What began as a night of celebration ended with grief, 2 families mourning, and a neighborhood shaken to its core. The music had stopped. The sky was still. But the questions? They were just beginning. Law enforcement acted quickly. A mobile response unit was set up near the scene, and officers began visiting nearby homes. A few neighbors shared what they remembered: unfamiliar faces, the sound of people running, a vehicle speeding off. But most stayed silent. Some never opened the door. Others said they hadn't seen anything. And some simply refused to speak at all. Underneath their quiet responses was something deeper: fear. In this community, people understood the risks of speaking up. Over time, unspoken rules had taken root. Staying silent felt safer. With few eyewitnesses, police focused on the evidence they did have: Tasha Hymond's livestream. Investigators reviewed the footage second by second. Tasha could be seen smiling, talking, and capturing the celebration on her phone. They studied the crowd, scanned faces, and followed movements. But the video stopped just as the chaos began. The final moments were blurry and unclear: flashes, footsteps, and rising voices. It wasn't enough, but it was a start. Officers also reviewed physical evidence gathered at the scene. Based on official reports cited by Yahoo News and WFAA News, the items recovered suggested that more than one person had been involved. The type and variety of materials supported this theory. This wasn't spontaneous. It appeared to be something that had been planned. About 2 weeks later, detectives made their first breakthrough. Using security footage, digital tips, and forensic matches, police identified a suspect: 21-year-old Todrick Rogers. He had been seen near the crowd just before things unraveled. His appearance aligned with multiple witness descriptions, and additional evidence connected him to the scene. Rogers was taken into custody and officially charged in connection to the incident, as confirmed by WFAA News. The arrest of Todrick Rogers gave investigators a lead but not closure. The evidence they reviewed suggested more than one person had been involved. Details from the scene pointed to a coordinated effort rather than something spontaneous. With limited witness cooperation, detectives returned to one crucial piece of evidence: Tasha Hymond's livestream. Technicians at the Fort Worth Crime Lab reviewed it frame by frame. What had once looked like a blur of noise and celebration began to reveal subtle moments. At exactly 11:46 p.m., her camera panned past a small group near a row of parked vehicles. One individual stood out wearing a dark hoodie with a red cloth tied around his wrist. He wasn't interacting with the crowd. His eyes locked on the camera for just a second. He turned to someone beside him, spoke briefly, then stepped away. Analysts enhanced the video, adjusted lighting, and zoomed in. A distinct scar along his jawline helped authorities identify him as Javon Matthews, known to some by a different nickname. Matthews was already listed in prior local reports related to nonviolent offenses. Once named, detectives checked every possible location: old addresses, associates, past workplaces. But Matthews had disappeared. Days turned into weeks. No digital activity. No paper trail. For investigators, the silence felt intentional. Then, on July 26, 2024, tips led law enforcement to an apartment on the city's east side. Officers moved in. Inside, they found Matthews near the back exit. He did not resist arrest. During questioning he remained quiet at first. Then, unexpectedly, he leaned forward and said, "Man, y'all don't even know the half of it." What followed shifted the case. Matthews admitted to being involved, but clarified that what happened that night wasn't random. The party had become the backdrop for a larger situation. According to Matthews, there had been tension involving Marcus Martin Jr. and another figure in the community. A business arrangement had gone wrong. Accusations were made. A decision was reached. Matthews described being asked to be on standby, not to act unless necessary. But as the party got louder and more unpredictable, things spiraled out of control. In the chaos, lines blurred. Tasha had been recording. Her camera may have picked up conversations or movements others didn't notice. That made her vulnerable. And just like that, what started as a summer celebration became a case shaped by silence, missteps, and lives changed forever. When detectives asked Javon Matthews who had organized the incident, he paused, looked down, then quietly said a name that changed the entire case: Darnell Foster. On the surface, Foster didn't raise suspicion. He had appeared at memorials, spoke with local reporters, urged the community to come forward. But according to Matthews, the reality was different. Investigators began to piece things together. They uncovered prior tensions between Foster and another individual involved that night, Marcus Martin Jr. Matthews shared that months earlier, a serious disagreement had occurred involving misplaced funds and broken trust. From there, things escalated behind closed doors. Authorities believe the setting on July 4th may have been chosen for a reason. The celebration, the crowd, the distractions. It created a moment where chaos could unfold quickly. According to police reports and statements reviewed by WFAA News, Foster had allegedly coordinated multiple individuals to be present. What happened that night was no accident. Tasha's livestream unknowingly became part of that moment. Her camera captured faces and sounds others may have missed, and that may have placed her in harm's way. On August 2, 2024, law enforcement located Foster at a motel outside Fort Worth. He was preparing to leave the area but was taken into custody without incident. He was later charged and brought to court, where the full story unfolded. A combination of motive, planning, and the consequences that followed. Final sentences included Todrick Rogers, 25 years in prison, Javon Matthews, 15 years in prison, and Darnell Foster, life in prison. For Tasha's loved ones, the legal outcome didn't erase the pain. At New Mount Zion Baptist Church, her cousin, Pastor Felton Jenkins, stood before friends and family. His voice broke as he spoke of her joy, her light, and the hole left behind.
It hurt. It's a different kind of pain. She is sweet. She's my angel.
Her fiancé, Tommy Howard, could barely find the words. Having already experienced loss once before, this moment reopened a wound. "I've lost 2 women I loved," he said quietly, "and I don't know how to come back from this." Days later, he posted a photo of Tasha with the caption, "Rest in paradise." Tasha wasn't just another name in the news. She was warmth, creativity, and love taken far too soon. Her story is a reminder that silence in the face of truth doesn't bring peace. If you know something, say something. If this story moved you, let us know in the comments. And if you believe stories like this need to be told, real, honest stories that make people stop and think, then please like this video. Leave a comment below and subscribe to this channel for more powerful stories that matter. Your voice can make a difference. Your share could save a life. And your support keeps these stories alive. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay aware. This is Wedneessday Crime Gist, and we'll see you next Wednesday with another story that must be told.